total, it's a 3-month long exam.
3 months long exam. What sort of exam is this? For example, nuclear.
Nuclear?
I went to a nuclear laboratory and we are able to do a nuclear fission by ourselves in a real life nuclear laboratory. One of the projects that I did for electronics,
Okay.
the professor was so impressed. It was unique, like very unique.
Okay.
I loved it. And the professor was so impressed, he wanted to make it a part of the curriculum.
What project?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Satyam.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Where are we right now? Again, back to our house. Last time we planned that we are going to go to a restaurant and do something. So that was the idea for the next podcast.
Indeed, we were supposed to be in the Italian restaurant talking about our stories, continuing from there. But what happened, Dave? It's more about you, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sorry. My exam started, and so I was caught up with that.
Exams, how did it go?
Very well.
So, when did you got over with it?
No, it's not at all over. So my exam started about a month ago, and they're going to last for 2 more months. So in total, it's a 3-month long exam.
3 months long exam. What sort of exam is this?
So it's not a exam. It's I have approximately 4 subjects,
Yeah.
and I have 3 to 4 attempts for each subject.
Oh.
So I have around 16 to 15 exams, and there is a month-long break in between. So it's a relaxing thing, not an exam, but
So 3 months for 4 exams, 4 different subjects, right?
Yes.
If I understood correctly.
Yes.
So which would be like 4 days in India.
yes, maximum a week.
So how come? It's like, I mean, it seems pretty different
Yes.
from what.
That's the Italian education system.
Oh,
I think
Do
you
you-
would be able to better elaborate on this.
yeah, right. So I have been there, done that. So yeah, this is how it is. Italian system, education system is quite different from our Indian system, right? So the exams and you mentioned about 3 or 4 attempts, right?
Yes.
How different it is from India, right? Because in India, like, what you do is like you get an exam schedule and you have fixed date for each subject and you go there, appear once, and you are like pass or fail, and then you have like compartment or next time backlog or like that. But
Yes.
it is quite different here, no?
Exactly.
It's a good thing. And do you want to go in share your experience with one of these exams that will make it pretty much clear the system, no?
Okay, so in most of the subjects, the grading score is out of a 30, and that's the system, not out of 100 like in India, or 10, depends upon the kind of college it is or the
Yeah,
board it is.
yeah.
And so, as I said, I have 4 subjects. So it's not even, for example, there are 3 to 4 attempts in every semester. Again, a year is 2 semesters
Yeah.
to break for you and
Right.
or the audience. You are my senior, so you obviously know. And each subject, I get 3 to 4 attempts every semester. So I said I have 4 exams. So let's take 3 attempts. So
Yeah.
I have 12 attempts. Each attempt would be around 10 to 20 days apart. So that way, I have almost 3 months to give my exam.
Yeah.
My exam session starts in July. I have July, August, and September.
Right.
September is when the new year starts.
Right.
So within these 3 months,
Yeah.
I can give my exam any day at any attempt, which the professor has scheduled. So
Right.
in July, I'm not in the mood, I can go in August. And August, I'm
Yeah.
not in the mood, I go in September. And if I'm the studious kind and I want to give every attempt, I'll go in July, I'll go in August, I'll go in September.
Right.
I have friends, or even myself, sorry, I have to be blamed, like even people who get 28 out of 30 try for a 29 or a 30 or else a
30L,
30. What's 30?
which is 30 cum laude.
What?
Yeah, you heard that right. So that's an English word, how you say honors. So something better than 100%
Yes.
is 30 cum laude. Sounds a bit, you know, but it is what it is. It
It's
is
a
what we
honor.
crave for. Honor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why I'm sorry we could not go to the restaurant, because I was very engaged with my exam schedule.
It's cool. How interesting is the fact, I mean, when you realize that it's not the university who is choosing the exam dates for you, but you are the one who is choosing the exam dates for you, right?
Exactly.
And you are the one who's like, I mean, it's pretty much like, to give a bit more detail to the viewers. When you have to give the exam, it's like the professor give you different dates. They're like, I am available at this time. And whenever you want to do the exam, you can just book an appointment. It's more like an appointment. But of course, since it's a very specified for exam ones, it's not just you always gonna be the only one, but more people will be like in those slots. So you will still have like some people giving the exam at the same time, but not the whole class. Never. So it will be like 1 to 5, 10, depending on again who is more convenient at what time. So it's your professor's convenience and how ready you are, and also how much in the mood you are for the exam.
And also the pass fail part, where in like
Right, very
I
interesting.
get low grades around like 18 or 15 out of 20 out of 30, and they don't tell you that you have failed in this exam. Come next year, do a KT, do special classes.
Exactly.
They just give you you get an email that not pass. They do not even tell you what grade you get
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. It's because it's not about pass or fail. It's about, do you have the enough deep understanding about the subject, how much it is there. So they have a minimum expectation from you, and if you are like reaching that minimum expectation, that is like 18 out of 30 basically. Anything less than 18 is considered like you don't have enough expertise to get a degree out of it. So 18 is like that basic, but then you always crave for like more and more. So also if you give the exam and you have like, let's say 18 or 20 or even 30, then you are the one who get to decide that if you want to accept that exam or you want to try it again. And to try it again, it's just about like just book in the next schedule. And you can do it like in this semester or the next semester or the next year or next year,
I
completely
think
up
you
to
have
you and your plan.
more than 4 years to give you one exam which you gave in your first year, I think so.
No, it's even more.
It's even
So
more.
yeah, of course it depends on the degree that you are doing. But if like for example for masters, you can extend the master's degree for up to 8 years. So you can go on basically on your timeline. How are you planning the life? What is your focus and stuff? And you can extend it up to 8 years. And you choose like you give one exam in 1 year or 8 exams in the 8th year or eight exam in the first year. Up to you completely. So this gives you the flexibility over like the control over your study basically.
Amazing. So mind blowing. So to recap,
Yeah.
what are the different, like, what are the most unique things about the Italian examination system that we face in Unibo? Number one,
So you are going about? Can you
like
repeat
the
again, please?
difference, like how, like the shocking things about the
Yeah,
Italian
right.
examination system.
Right. So one thing is like this flexibility, right?
Yeah,
The deadlines of the exam.
correct.
In India, it's like completely fixed.
Right.
University, college decides like, okay, this exam of this subject is on this date,
You
and
get a
you need
shitty
to.
timetable.
Yeah, you have a timetable and you need to stick to it, and there is like no negotiation over that.
Yeah.
If in some case you cannot take it for whatever reason, you have some function, you are like ill, whatever, you
You are in the
cannot, like if you
hospital.
miss it, if you miss it, you missed it.
Yeah.
You like, and now it's like a compartment or backlog sort of thing that
Yeah.
you need to do.
And everybody will shame you for that in India.
That also like that's not right, honestly. That's not the way to do it. But yeah, unfortunately, it is like that. So one of the bigger thing is like one of the major difference is this. Do you know? I will tell you an interesting fact right now, since we are sitting in Bologna, and for the viewers, we both are from University of Bologna as well. I think you already know Dev. He is doing masters in law, and I'm doing masters in applied physics. So the interesting thing is the education system that you are following in India, and not just in India, but most of the parts of the world where we have
Okay.
this system of intermediate, bachelors, and masters and all.
Yeah.
This system is called Bologna process.
What?
Bologna as in University of
Okay.
Bologna, because this system was created by University of Bologna, was signed in Bologna.
Okay.
This is where it originated from,
So that is
and
what
we are the one
most of the
following.
world follows.
Most of the world follows, yeah, including India.
Okay. What does this include, the Bologna process?
So most of the part of it is more like the education system, in the framework of the education system.
Okay.
The layers that we have, that going from high school to intermediate to bachelor's to master's, this
Right.
system is a part of Bologna process.
Okay.
And there are other niche things that comes under this, which we have as well. No, like we also have this system, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. This is a really interesting part here. But at the same time, if we compare, there is huge amount of differences, right? And at times it's surprising, like how come the differences can be this big, even with the format of exams. In India, pretty much all the exam is like written exam and can have a part of like a practical or project or viva, right? But
But-
nothing
Yeah.
without written exam. no?
Most focusing. Yeah.
Yeah. Here it's kind of different. So depending on the subject, it can be all viva, where you are giving the exam one to one with the professor sitting on the table right across you, and the viva goes on for like 40 minutes in a row, or 1 hour, even over 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah.
At times it can be two professors in a row, when you do 30 minutes with one professor, and then just after that you do 40 minutes with another professor.
Yes.
And you get so that's your whole exam. And that can again, it can again be just a project, and then you are discussing the project. It can be like like thesis as well, but for the exam. So
Yes.
a short project, and you are still kind of defending it and explaining it to the professor. Or it can also be like written one, as it takes place in India. So
Correct.
many different formats. There is not like one format, and it depends subject by subject, professor.
And also upon your convenience, that sometimes people face multiple challenges, like people are not able to speak correctly.
That's right, yeah.
Or they're not too open with speaking, or
Yeah.
not too good with writing. For example, me, I have terrible handwriting, or I can't fit so many things in particular pages.
Okay.
Sometimes professors do also accommodate special requests, which are very genuine.
Yeah, this comes basically from the, I think, the culture of inclusivity, which is quite a big thing or preference in Europe in general.
Yeah.
The inclusiveness is a part of, not just in education, but it's a part of the culture, right? And more than culture, like I also say, a lot of laws as well. So inclusive of everything and anything out there. So that this is also, I believe, that comes more from that part.
Okay.
When you don't exactly, like you cannot write for some reason, you can always do a viva. If you cannot do viva for a reason, you can always do like written. So it's always like the approach is always one to one, and it's not like you need to fit in a format basically.
Yes.
It's up to you that what you want. By the way, at the same time, as you said that if you are not doing good in an exam, in India you have the option of you are given the option to do the class again and stuff.
Right.
And you can like prepare even better for the compartment or the backlog.
Yeah. Yes.
KT, it is also called
KT, yes, you're right, KT.
So like that, but doesn't it sound better? Because here, how is it here? If you fail the exam, you are all by yourself, or how does it work?
It's nothing like that. Like it's no worries. Like the professor will give you feedback. You have meetings with the professor. Like I did not get farewell marks in my last attempt. The professor asked, like, he's open for a meeting with me. It was a 40-minute meeting. He explained my paper, my mistakes. And it was very calm. Like that was a written exam. But during my oral exams, I spoke with the professor. Like I did think that I deserved more marks. We spent 30 minutes on my justification that why I was right. He was very inclusive enough or kind enough to hear me, provide their perspective. He also increased my marks. I was not negotiating, but I stood my stance and explained myself. And he wanted to know that if I knew his subject well, or if I had enough interest in that subject. It was not that what he taught I have to exactly like a parrot, like in India.
That's right.
Right, exactly those words he spoke.
It's more, Indian education system is more based on like rote learning.
Exactly.
Is the word I define it with. So it's more like, exactly. You remember a lot of the same repetitive stuff, and like you just go and like write it down, put it down on the paper, and you have all the right to forget it basically after that, and nobody
100%.
cares about it. I mean, with the support as well. So exactly, I have my own experience as well. Like not all of the exams have been like really good, and when I had one experience with one of the exam, it was statistical mechanics. And I always hated that chapter ever since my school time, honestly, from the time of thermodynamics. And coming to statistical mechanics, which is kind of like the same thing, a part that was a sub. So it has always been a challenge, and I didn't do good in the exam. And the professor literally said that you can come to my office, book an appointment, come to my office, and I'm going to teach you like one to one. It's like a private tuition in India, but like so. Come to me with all the questions that you have, or I can teach you again in my class one to one, and then I'm gonna like take your exam, and I'm gonna make it easy for you if you have challenge in the class, and if you are not like if you have bigger challenges, let's say, because I am really weak in that subject, that specific subject. Just to clarify that. I'm generally a good student in the things that I have interest in, but like this subject is like has been my challenge. So this was really surprising to me for a professor sitting at that position, because the professor here is not a just professor, but they are researchers, no?
Yes.
They are doing research, they are working like with other organizations.
They're
Inter-organization
consultants.
is, yeah, exactly. And inter-organization things are there. They have so many things at hand. And to find time for one-to-one in that, and to be like always available, it's like really a thing that I have not like imagined. In India, if I need it, I will like need to do the professors a favor, or basically get
Obviously.
private tuition.
Exactly.
Pay for it. So yeah, this is a big difference, I'd
I
say.
believe they do have the spirit to teach. Like I
Yeah.
have professors who are on the top of their careers, board of directors and whatnot, and they get paid very well at their other professions. So it's not about the money. It's about love for the profession, love to teach young professionals or anybody.
Right.
Like I believe you were talking about your classes. We spoke a lot about examinations right now. What are your classes like? Like the examination system is so apart.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this again if needed.
Okay, yeah.
But how are your classes like? Example, the one which you said. What was the name?
Okay, statistical
Mathematics. Like in India, I believe my maths classes were like there was a sum, the professor solves it, and we have to just copy half of the times.
Yeah.
Or like raise your hand if you don't understand anything, and they move on.
Yep.
That's how the classes work.
So here a lot depends on the subject itself. So
Okay.
there are some subjects which by definition is theoretical.
Right.
Statistical mechanics is one of those theoretical subjects.
Okay.
And that's the reason that I hate it, honestly, because I am applied physics student. Because of the fact that I love the application part of the physics and not so much into theoretical stuff. But yeah, one of the reasons that it has to be their mandatory subject. That's another fun story we can talk about someday. But yeah, so that was a theoretical one. So it is usually like the Indian system where like the professor is writing on chalk on the blackboard and writing the equations and explaining the theories, and she will go on and like try to create a conversation and go deep into it, like, and try to be like, so it's very usual like India, I would say, very much comparable. But that's about that subject. But then for the other subject, it has always been, since it was applied physics, when I am talking about, like, for example, nuclear, I went to a nuclear laboratory and we were able to do a nuclear fission by ourselves in a real life nuclear laboratory.
So you made a tiny bomb?
Not bomb, because nuclear is not just bomb.
Yeah.
That's a reaction that can be used to create bomb.
Yes.
That's the same reaction that is used to create electricity.
Yes.
Interestingly, where I go, it was not for bomb, of course, and not even for energy.
Yes.
It was a completely different innovative research that they are doing out there.
Okay.
Is using the nuclear to cure cancer.
Wow.
And so for medical application in general, but cancer is one of their thing that they are trying to solve using nuclear.
Wow.
So the idea is to explode the cancer cells to a nuclear energy, and that's gonna like kill it.
Wow.
But how to control that nuclear to like that precise thing, if you know, like we are talking about surgery and at the level of killing the cancer
So
cells.
even that requires fission. Even that requires fission.
Fusion. So we are using fission. Yes, sorry. So for now, there is no medical science which is like directly usable in that format, that you can use nuclear to use to cure cancer.
Right.
At the same time, there are also like like people. It's not very usual, but people do get exposed to nuclear radiation,
Yes.
and that is always lethal. The one of the idea there they are trying to solve is how to use nuclear energy, or basically how to use nuclear to solve nuclear. So you get exposed to nuclear and how to solve it using the nuclear power itself.
Wow.
So yeah, quite innovative research going on. Still in like when I was there, according to the lab that and the case study that we did there, they have already a like successful case study when there was a person who was exposed to nuclear radiation, and every hospital have given up. And they reached out to him and asked him if you want to volunteer and take a risk, basically. So take a bet on them that they can solve it. And he subscribed to it. He volunteered and they were able to solve this issue. So they used this science to solve this, and he was healthy. He still is healthy. Has been almost 2 years since he was like out of this thing.
So you voluntarily took part in nuclear research is like and had such examples in front of you.
Right,
While
right.
learning.
Real life example. And in this case, are you realizing that I was able to test a technology which may be a real thing in the next 5 years or
Right.
10 years when it will be like something which is exposed to like general public.
Exactly.
And I had the access to the same thing like way too earlier,
Yeah.
at way too early stage.
And I believe the situation in our country would be completely opposite, that you will be learning something from the 1990s or 1900s.
Yeah, right. That's a big problem. Like, if you see, that is a very contrast difference between India and other, like top universities, like University of Bologna, is the syllabus is not getting updated there.
Okay.
The research is taking place, of course,
In
because
India, right, as
I
well,
mean
okay.
everywhere, because people are like doing PhD there, right? PhD
Yes.
is basically research. So
Yes.
you are doing research on one thing on the other, but unfortunately, that's research on paper. That's not like fake research. I mean, I don't want to like use
Discredit.
very wrong words, but in most of the cases, it's just way below the par. It's just about like taking the checklist and just doing like, I mean, going through the process, but not actually like innovating anything or researching anything, getting degree without doing that. And that's the reason that there is nothing to add to the syllabus. At the same time, there are still some research that we are able to do there.
Okay.
But again, they never make a part of the syllabus. Because syllabus is not getting updated like every year.
Yes.
Compared to here,
I think
which
once
is like
in a decade would be a big thing.
That's right. It always comes with like education policy sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Not at the university level and never at the professor level. Very rarely.
Our university controls the curriculum, right? They teach.
It's right. So it's more on the decision of the professor itself.
Just like he can do teach whatever he want.
Not whatever he want. Of course, there is guideline and framework.
Obviously.
But he is the first person who is deciding what's gonna be the syllabus in the next year.
Okay.
He gonna go like, there is already, let's say, what is right now.
Right.
And in this year, what we are teaching and whatever popped up in the
Yes.
world at other places, at other laboratory, at other research centers, and in University of Bologna with that professor, with other professor in this university from these students,
Okay.
they're gonna choose from there and make a part of the curriculum.
Right.
In fact, I have a really fun story to tell about this thing. One of the projects that I did for electronics,
Okay.
the professor was so impressed. It was unique, like really unique, amazing one. I loved it. And the professor was so impressed, he wanted to make it a part of the curriculum.
Your projects.
Yup, my project. And
Wow.
he included it in the syllabus. So basically, it became a syllabus for the incoming students of the next year.
So today, your project is in the curriculum. If we open the Unibo website.
Not sure. I didn't check it like this year because it was like 2 years ago.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if it's still a part of it or not.
Okay.
But 2 years ago, yeah, it was a part of the syllabus for the incoming students.
Amazing.
And just imagine to a student how it gonna make you feel that you did a project and it's like something a part of the syllabus that the students are gonna study now. It feels like so much success. And honestly, it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. It inspires you to do even better with the innovation and with new things.
Exactly.
Of course, I had a chance. I could have just done anything else, recreated a project, and it will still get me marks.
Took it from your senior, like.
Yeah, because it's a master's degree and not a PhD degree. So I'm not expected to like actually innovate something new.
Yes.
But even if like I recreate something which is already out there,
Right.
would it have been okay, right?
True.
But this inspires me. I was not expecting, I would say, that it would be included in the syllabus. That was honestly surprising to me. And I was like, I mean, for the moment I was in cloud nine. I was like, not amazing. Oh my God, this is like so amazing. But yeah, this is what it is. And I can never imagine it happening in India. Even if the professor is impressed by you, he don't have the right to do it, no?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe exceptionally in one university out of hundreds, but like 99, never.
So I believe the university structure of the curriculum in India would be like the government or the board, state board decides the structure for the university where it's public.
Exactly, it's a lot of bureaucracy as well. Even if the University of Bologna, for example, is a public university, other universities, public universities as well,
Yes.
but they have the liberty to like. Government is so much involved only in like outside framework of like what are things like you cannot do, and then giving them the funds. The funds for university is also like they have much more funds, I would say, than India.
Okay.
Because international organizations also fund them. The thing is like they are also creating the things that gets them revenue. No, any research which gets
Exactly.
patent and stuff, it brings the revenue to university as well. So yeah, in this sort, and that creates a big difference when we compare it with like education, Indian education system.
So we had a few projects in the university where in organizations and companies which were involved. So there is a very big data center in Bologna called the Leonardo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest supercomputers.
Yes.
So the team from there came in participation with companies. So companies were using the Leonardo computer for their projects,
Yeah.
and students from our university were taken as trainees or to support them in their infrastructure, because it's a lot of data to go through and it's so much, not a very complex job, but it's
Yeah.
a very good learning process.
That's right. And just imagine having a hands-on experience on a supercomputer, which is like, and a technology just being built, like which is in the very nascent stage,
Yeah.
and you get a hands-on experience on that thing. And the point is, it's not about just this university. Such access is available to most of the public universities
Agreed.
in Italy and in Europe in general. And that is fascinating. This is something that you cannot even imagine with the universities in India. No, like, apart from a couple of like really big and rich ones, not really a
And
thing.
they also do not have everything which they have, which we have, and for a very low cost.
By the way, I think it's the same place where Narendra Modi visited, right? He
Yes,
did visit
yes,
it,
but
and
it's
like,
not more in the news.
Yeah.
But it was a very secret visit.
yeah,
So
right. He was here in Bologna in that lab. Wow.
exactly.
And with Meloni, I think.
Yeah. So
right.
with the
Melody.
focus also, you just said that university also has revenue. So they don't just like are there on funds to hog on funds to ask everybody. They are also so innovative. The university board itself, again, the university board.
Yeah.
Do we have boards? It's not a business, but it's almost run like a profit-making business.
Yes.
But here the profits are used for education.
Right. And that is being spent back again on students.
Yeah.
Because one of the big differences, like you pay no fees to the university, right?
Exactly.
You get everything funded. This university fees is funded, your living cost, including your accommodation, is funded, the food that you are eating is funded, and you also have funds remaining to explore the world out there.
Yes.
This is what creates the difference, no, when you compare like why these places are like progressing that much faster, and why we are like still like that back and have not been like reached here in terms of like development and stuff. Is like one of the big thing is this: we are like just doing the same thing again and again and not progressing.
Exactly.
And here, because when you are actually fueling the talent in all the way that it needs to be fueled, right?
And also the talent which is not supported. For example, I am not ashamed to admit that I was not a very good student back at home in India. I was an average student at the best. There were very good subjects which I excelled at, but there were only few, like one or
Okay.
two count, which I was very much interested in.
Right.
But again, where I was lacking was good enough support.
Yeah.
It's not you going to tuitions, or it's not just the best teacher in the class or the best classroom with iPads or projector screens. No, it's the whole ecosystem. What makes Apple the best ecosystem is everything just makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
In Bologna, everything just makes sense.
Yeah.
We were talking, we are in the same university, are we in the same campus?
You have like this university is spread all over the city.
Exactly.
It's like
The whole city is the
is
university.
university, exactly.
Every 2 kilometers there is a university campus.
Yeah.
So is it just
And-
randomly put? You told me this theory about the placement of the campuses.
Right. That is also very well thought on, and once you also add to it is like the availability of study rooms and libraries. You have study room and libraries spread all over the city.
From morning 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. You don't need to go anywhere. Just go to the library. You have slots. You can book it on your app. Or
And you can just walk in, honestly. There are so many study rooms. You can just walk in and you will have a place to sit there and study, and libraries to like with the books and everything.
Yeah.
Even with like their own computers and stuff if you
Computers,
don't want to
yes.
carry it. So that's also
or if you do
available.
not have the resources to own a computer.
And By the way, there are also study rooms which are open even later than 12 a.m. in the night, in the
Right.
midnight. Yeah, they are like at till
Okay.
3 a.m. and so
Wow.
they close for like just 1 hour at from or 1 2 hour from 3 to 5, just that. So you can literally spend all the time in the study room if you are that kind of person. And I know some people that do it. I did it, but just for the exams, a couple of days. But there are some people who like live their life in study rooms as well, who are like really deep in the research and stuff. Yeah, and coming back to the placement of the campuses, that is a thing is like, for example, if you are like studying archaeology,
Okay.
the campus that you're gonna found will always be connected with the archaeological stuff that matters.
Wow.
Same goes with the history, and
Okay.
same goes with any other labs out there.
Right.
At the same time, those campuses are also integrated with external organizations.
Okay.
For example, my department, which is in physics,
Okay.
we do collaborative research with like nuclear one I was saying.
Right,
So there
right.
is an organization called INFN, which
Okay.
is into nuclear research, and we have a collaboration with them. So there are people or my professors going to INFN, people from INFN visiting our lab. They are like we are integrated, and students, of course, become a common thing to both of them.
And this happens continuously throughout your semester.
Yes, continuously. Similarly with the hospitals.
Okay.
Like we are doing a lot in the medical research, a lot on the X-ray and creating new machines and stuff, and increasing the efficiency of the medical equipments. And we collaborate directly with the hospitals in real time in our regular curriculum and our daily life basically. So again, my professor is like also sitting he is easily foundable when you go in in the hospital. He is there working with like real life, real patients and real medical data. And I have the access to those universities and the research labs in the
Okay.
university.
Wow.
Sorry, in the hospital,
the
of course, in the
hospitals.
university, but also in the hospital.
Obviously.
So I have the access to the hospital and to be able to do like real sort of research and not something just on the paper.
And providing such access is difficult, but they have made amends to provide you such things and resources.
Yeah, right. And this is what creating the change basically, the difference that has been created. The number of high quality research that originates from here, that's the reason. That's what explains it.
Yeah.
And this is something like really unfortunately tough to find in India.
The ecosystem. So I was 6 months late to Bologna. I had multiple visa issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
I
a
almost
challenge,
missed a semester. I just arrived before exams. So in India, if I was in India today,
Yeah.
I could not give exams
Because of the
75%
attendance.
attendance.
I can imagine.
I think you have
right.
some memories from back home, even me. I
Yep.
think so the whole audience would be
Uh-huh.
traumatized because of that 1% attendance, 2% attendance,
Yeah.
proxies, whatnot.
Uh-huh.
So, what's the attendance system here?
So attendance is not really a big thing here, apart from like very specific subjects and very specific professors, very specific things, because there is like a project which is always like there is a 10-part project and that constitutes and becomes one part. Now, if
Okay.
you miss one or two, it's like you are missing the whole basically.
Right.
So in that case, the attendance becomes mandatory, but it will always be like out of those 10 class, out of those 4 classes,
Okay.
like that. But generally speaking, or for 99% of the cases, there is no such thing as attendance.
Wow.
There is no system of attendance, honestly.
Oh,
The
so-
class is open to you, and you go whenever you feel like. You do the class, you don't do the class, you do it online, you don't do it, and do it later. You see the recorded class, you do the self-study, whatever suits to you.
Okay. So the students who are there in the class, who've put their efforts from getting ready, waking up in the morning, are
Yeah.
actually there to study. Because there is no compulsion on you to come or not to come.
Exactly. There is no compulsion. Nobody is going to ask you, apart from the professors who has a good relation, because they know many professors are like more have an individual approach to their students.
Yeah.
They know you by name, they know you exactly. So they will be more like, why are you not coming in the class? Everything is okay and stuff. Do you need any help? But not more than that. It will never be like you have to come. You have to have 75% attendance, otherwise like you cannot appear in an exam and stuff.
Yeah.
So apart from like exceptional cases and very specific courses, this is the general way of doing it. So again, the control is being given in the hand of the students.
Yeah.
And not strictly, because we are not kids. You are not in primary school.
Exactly.
It makes sense, but in primary schools,
Yes.
not when you are doing masters and
Exactly.
bachelors and PhD.
Even in your 11th and 12th grade, like.
Right. I think after 7 and 8, when you are like this transition phase from 8th to 10th,
Okay.
is when you should start to get control of your life
Right.
already. You are already reaching the age as well for you. You're gonna be starting to vote after that, no? 10 to
Yes.
12 is the time you. So you
Almost.
should be the one taking the decision for your life before you take the decision for like your country, right?
100%.
So
Funny, yes.
yeah, but if we just try to ensure it by more rules like attendance
Yeah.
and other such stuff in the university, it is just limiting on the potential. Honestly, that will be my thought.
So, what was your approach on your personal education when we both faced both sides, India and Italy? And I definitely think our education has improved the second we landed here and we came here.
Yeah.
The perspective towards education, the approach towards education, especially mine,
Yeah.
because I was the one who ran away from it.
Okay. Yes.
On the later stages of my life, I did like it, but I tried to avoid it. It did transition in India when I was doing my bachelor's,
Yeah.
but I still do not prefer it.
Okay.
But today I do prefer to take exams.
Uh-huh.
Today I have finished most of my credits,
Yeah.
but I came across a new sector of law today,
Right.
and I do have a course available into the university. Next, I do not need to finish any subject or do any subject, but I'm applying for that course tomorrow.
Because you want to and you have passion in it.
But I did not have that before.
And at the same time, no compulsion as well, no?
Exactly.
You try it, you test it. If it feels, you can do a research in it. If you don't, nobody cares. You can
Yeah.
just skip, right?
I just whatever I learned in the class, I can keep it.
This is interesting because like that's a big difference to the audience. When in India, when you are starting your course, let's say bachelor's, you have the curriculum for the 4 years predefined, and you pretty much don't get much option to choose among things. You can have a bit of like optionals among a few things, but
One or
not
two.
like much. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like just a few, not a lot. Here, it's like a lot in your hand. You are choosing the subject that you
You have
want
a
to
buffet.
study. A buffet of subjects
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, yeah.
and whatever you like, you can pick it. It's all about like overall the credits should add up to 120
Yeah.
basically.
There are a few compulsory subjects,
Exactly,
like one
of
or
course.
two.
So it's just the opposite. There is a few optional. Here, there is a few
Yes.
compulsory, which is like you cannot do without it. Like
Yeah.
you cannot do engineering without coding, right? So that's like a compulsory that you cannot skip coding. But then, how much you want to do coding, how deep you want to go, there will be a subject and you can pick, you can skip.
Right.
Also, you are given the option to study from subjects which is not from your department, but from a department which is closer to you or even distant from you.
So I can come and do nuclear physics, which you did,
That's right. It's possible for you to do it.
just because I'm interested and I
Just
want to
because
learn.
you are interested.
And
just because
I
you are
don't have to
interested.
pay university any kind of fees.
No, you don't. And you get access to everything.
And what this country gains from this, or what the university gains from, is a learned student in the class.
It gets you because you are seeing the system, you are becoming a part of the system. And the thing is, once you have that skill sets and stuff, you would like to implement it, right? And then you will start to look for opportunity where then you will need the opportunity to use it, no?
Exactly.
And Europe has the system, the opportunity that it gives, unlike other countries, I would say.
Okay.
Unlike India. In India, you want to do something, you will have to sit in one of those exams basically and compete with so many different students, millions fighting for like 1,000 seats, and you will be like sitting there,
Right.
giving those exams, solving those answers, which rarely actually define someone. And
Yes.
it's just like a filter paper test and more like, okay, how to remove someone from the list when
Yeah.
I don't have to justify it,
Yeah.
in the way that I don't have to justify it. And which is just the opposite
And
here, no?
that's all based on a paper-based test.
Right, exactly. And here it's more like the research you are doing. You will basically request for a fund and you will get the fund basically.
Yeah.
So I can give you a bit of detail in that as well. Being an expert member of European Commission, that
I think I have to go through LinkedIn. We'll have to keep a LinkedIn link below that.
cool. But okay, just overview to the audience is I am a sitting member of the expert committee of European Commission. What that committee does is there are committees which are built through the people who have experience in that certain field or expertise in that certain field, and what they do is the Europe, whenever they it is coming up with a new law, new research ideas or new funds to spend, or someone come up, in this case the example I was putting, that you come up to European Commission saying
Right.
that, hey, I have done this thing and I want to do this research and I think this gonna help Europe or a certain society or even like outside Europe, like
Yeah.
Africa, India, whatever,
Or even
globally.
innovation.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. So you have this idea and you want some fund for it.
exactly.
That gonna come up to a committee like me,
Yeah.
and people like me gonna review it, overview it, and see evaluate like if it makes sense, and if it makes sense we're gonna just sign it, and then you get fund from European Commission to do
Yeah.
your research and to have the place wherever you wanna do it. So this is that accessible. And just see this, you can request for a project that you need to do,
Okay.
want to do in like nuclear research, and I'm the person who is signing it, who is sitting right in front of you, and I'm pretty much accessible to you, not like someone who is like really far away, no?
Exactly.
In
I can
India,
after
if you want to do it, it will be like a lot of bureaucracy, and you don't even get to meet the people who gonna decide for it, right?
Here, I have to just write you an email. There is a list available of experts like you who can reach. And I don't think so it will matter to you that I come from a law background. Today, I
Totally
give you a
not.
proposal.
Totally not.
Just a good, well-defined proposal.
Yes, that's all we need, and just a bit of clarity and the potential if it's there. Nobody cares about what degree you are carrying, honestly. It's just about like if I don't have any information on you, it's just about knowing your name. It's as good as that.
So, in conclusion, I would like to ask that. So, as I said before, that I was not a bad student. I was not a person who did not understand things or did not want to understand things. But I did feel that the ecosystem which I was in did not push me ahead, did not motivate me, or was, I think so, not made for me. I believe that. But here today, Bologna has made me feel included, interested, and supported. So, what do you give a message to the person like which I believe I was like 5 to 10 years ago? Maybe they're in their sixth or seventh or eighth grade where they are thinking about their careers,
Yeah.
but or they're thinking to even leave education.
Yeah. Okay.
Or in the later stages, like the 12th grade, where they have to choose their bachelor's, but they have no interest in no subject, or doing their bachelor's without any kind of interest. And again, even later, giving an competitive exam because they only think that that's the only thing remaining for them to do.
Yeah, I mean, that is more like a problem of the ecosystem and the culture, basically. And unfortunately, it's not very easy to solve. You cannot change the ecosystem in a day, you cannot change the system in a day. But what you can do is choose the ecosystem or choose the system. So we live in an age of globalization. It has been many years now. 91, 92 was the time when India got exposed to globalization, but we are not leveraging it enough. Why Indian students are like most of the Indian students are limiting themselves to what are the options available in India? You are equally rightful to all the opportunities that is available to you globally. Why are we like giving millions of students all preparing just for IITs while they don't have enough seats for us, right?
No.
IITs cannot accommodate those all the 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs student appearing for that exam. Same goes with NEET. But at the same time, there are options available outside which we don't even think about. Options better than IITs.
Exactly.
Like University of Bologna is ranked like 40 something in the world in physics.
So,
Much higher than IITs. IITs are outside 1000 in this or any of it. The nearest will be IISc Bangalore, but still outside 500 in this.
100 times better
Yeah.
colleges.
And I get the whole opportunity that is available here that we discussed in terms of fully funded education.
Yes.
I don't need to think about my lifestyle expenses as well. I get all the like the opportunities in work, let's say job, research, whatever I want to do. Like also for the employment, because at the end it's about getting a high paying salary as well, right? In addition to like your hobby and stuff.
Always.
And you get the access for both as well. The competition is like way too low in that case. If you are good enough, smart enough, there is always opportunity for
Always.
you. You are not like fighting with other 10. For you to succeed, it's not required that 10 million other people don't succeed or fail,
Yes.
which is
And that's not just for a job, but also for the education.
also for the education. And also like basic education, like bachelor's. This is very basic, man. Like it's not even like, it's not PhD, it's not master, right? It's not research thing. And we don't even have enough for bachelor's, let alone like masters or PhD or job.
So, what do you think they should do?
So
the actions.
yeah, so what I would suggest is you have, or the student or their parent has this ability to choose the ecosystem, choose the system. Look outside India, choose the ecosystem which supports you, because to make a change or for the society to change in India, it's gonna take time. It's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen. We have to
Exactly.
make it happen. But it's gonna take time, and it will be too late for the students who are like right now in doing their 10th,
Yes.
9th, or 12th,
At
like
least a
that.
generation.
Yeah, it will need a generation, and it will need more people who realize this potential and try to not like just leverage it, but bring it to the youth, to the mass, to India,
Back
basically.
home.
Yeah, back home, to bring it back home. So yeah, this is what I would say. Like the options are infinite. Look outside and choose what works for you. You have all the right in the world to choose from global opportunities, and don't need to stick to just Indian opportunities.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dev. Let's meet in the next one.
Done. Definitely.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.